Hello again. Okay, today we're going to see area of composite figures. And yes, you're already guessing it. Now we're going to learn how to put shapes together to form just one big figure with several shapes. So this is lesson in chapter 12, lesson 1E, and the objective here is to find the area of composite figures. This class is also going to be divided in two parts, so this is part 1 of our class. But before we go with the composite figures, let's do a quick recap. Shaded area, our last class. Shaded area, find the total shape, which in this case is a rectangle. Find the area of all three triangles. See, we have one triangle here, two, and then another one over here, three triangles. And then we'll subtract the triangles from the rectangle. So let's start. The area of the rectangle. Remember how to find area of rectangle. So the area of a rectangle is base times height. The area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So here we go. The area of the rectangle. All this big side times all this side over here, which is 8 times 5, 40. Since there's no unit of measurement here, I am going to use units to the square. Then I have the area of the first triangle. It doesn't really matter which triangle you use first. All triangles are there, so it doesn't really matter which one is first. I'm going to start with the smaller one. So this part here measures 1, and this part here measures 4. So the area of this triangle here is 1 times 4 divided by 2. 1 times 4, 4 divided by 2 is 2 units squared. The second triangle that I'm going to use is this bigger triangle over here, down on the shape. So this part here is 6, and this part here, look, don't get confused with the 5. This part here measures only 4. The total measurement is 5. This part is only 4. So this is going to be 6 times 4 divided by 2. 6 times 4, 24, divided by 2, this is 12 units squared. The triangle number 3. Triangle 3 is this. Base to height is 5. So 2 times 5 divided by 2, this is 10 divided by 2, this is 5 units squared. So how do I find the shaded area? This odd shape here that is inside my rectangle. Well, I get the area of the entire rectangle and I take away all three triangles that are here. So what do I do? Shaded area, the rectangle, I found it here. So this is 40 minus, then I'll take away all the little triangles. 2, 12, and 5. 12 plus 5, 17, plus 2, 19. So 40, take away 19, which is 21 units squared. This is the area of my gray, different shape here inside the rectangle. Now I am going to start with the composite figures. So look at these figures over here. Let me erase what we have so you can see both figures. So let's see. A composite figure is made of 2 or more, so at least 2, right? 2 or more shapes. What shapes make up the following composite figures? So I have 2 over here. I'll start with the pink one. The pink one is a heart, and this heart is made of what? Here we have a square, and I know it's a square because this side measures 3, this also measures 3. So here they are a square, and then half a circle here, and another half a circle here. So it is 1 square and 1 circle. I take 2 half circles that make just 1 circle. So that one is not very hard. this one here, which I really cannot make up what it is. If it is a car that I'm driving going that way, or if it is a motorcycle that I am riding going that way. You choose, I'll let you choose what this is. But the shapes here are a triangle. Look, I have a triangle right here. I have a trapezoid right here. And then there is a rectangle right here. And look, circle and circle. The only thing we have to be careful with this figure here is that when we're finding the area, we'll get the triangle, trapezoid, rectangle. We'll get both circles, yes, but then we have to take away this little part here, see? Because if we don't take away this part here, this is going to be counted twice. So after we find the entire area, what we have to do is take away half of a circle, 1/4 for this wheel here, and 1/4 for this one over there. All right? So let's not forget, we cannot count the same space twice. Let's see how we do this. The space inside a shape is the area. That's why I said we cannot count the same space twice when we are calculating composite figures. So to find the area of a composite figure, find the area of each separate figure or each separate part or shape, and then you add them together. Sometimes we're going to have to take away little pieces of the shape that we were working with. Here we have, for this one, for this particular shape here, what do we have? We have a triangle here. We have another triangle right here. And we have a square. So we have 2 triangles and 1 square. These are the shapes, or these are the geometric figures that form this shape over here. Now, what I have done here is I put all these formulas together for you, so you have access to these formulas and you know how to calculate shapes, how to calculate areas. So the square area, base times height, or side to the square. Base times height in 1 square. The sides measure the same. That's why I can say side to the square. But it's the same thing as base times height. Here, rectangle, length times width, same thing, base times height. 2 and I multiply. For me to find a parallelogram, I have to be very careful because I have slanted sides here, and the slanted sides do not give me the height. What gives me the height is the 90-degree angle. So I always have to find the height so I can figure out what the area is, which is base times height. And height, again, is not the slanted side. It is the 90-degree angle. Triangles, we've worked with them. Base times height divided by 2, or half times base times the height. Then the trapezoids, that's the one we haven't worked much with. Here it is. Here's the formula for the trapezoid, for the area of a trapezoid. It's big base plus small base. Add them together first, and then you multiply by the height and divide by 2, or divide by 2 and multiply by the height. It doesn't really matter. What is really important is that you use the order of operation. This is inside parentheses, so you have to add the 2 bases first. Big base, small base, and then multiply by the height. Remember, these are also slanted sides, so you have to find whatever's perpendicular, whatever makes the 90-degree angle. And then you divide by 2. And finally, the circle. The circle is the one that we've been using, so area of a circle is pi times r squared. So I've left this over here so you have a good source to find the formulas for area in different shapes. Once again, remember what the height will always be 90 degrees, so you have to find the 90 degree over there. Do not use the slanted side as the height. It doesn't work. Here we are, our first example. There are two examples that we're going to do today. The first one is right here. Find the area of the following composite figure. So we have what? We have two figures over here. The first figure that we see is a rectangle right here that measures 15 by 12. And the second figure that we see is a triangle that has 7 as a base, 12 as the height. See, here is my 90 degree angle, so I'm not using this. I am using the height. Let's see what it is. The figures that I have a rectangle, and I can just draw it. I don't need to write it. And I have a triangle. The formulas for each area, how do I remember that? It is in the last page. How do I remember? Well, I'll be using it so much that we end up not forgetting. So formulas for each area. The rectangle, base times height, and the triangle, base times height divided by 2. It's always good to have the formulas at hand, so this way, yes, you can refer to the formulas. And one thing I'm going to say, and maybe you were waiting for me to say that, yes, we will be able to use calculators when we do this type of exercise, especially when we are working with circles, because circles include the 3.14 for pi, and that makes it a little harder to get to the right number. So since I want you to always work with two decimals, then yes, I'm going to allow you to find areas for composite and also for shaded. If it's a circle, let's just use it when it's a circle because it's harder. So let's just do that. You can use the calculator in those circumstances. So how do I solve this? Well, to solve this, I have to use formula for my rectangle. Let's find the area of the rectangle. That is 15 times 12, which is 180. And since there are the unit is shown over here, centimeters, then yes, centimeters squared. Okay, now the area of the triangle. The area of the triangle is 7 times 12 divided by 2. So this is the same thing as getting the 12 divided by 2, which this is 6, this is 1. I simplified my division. Could I have multiplied? Yes, 7 times 12 divided by 2, but I am just preferring to multiply 7 times 6. It's easier and it's faster. So 7 times 6, 42 also centimeters squared. How do I find the composite? I am just going to put them together. So my area, and I call this total. So my area for the total shape is going to be 180 plus 42. So my area is going to be 222 centimeters squared. Okay? Don't forget to box your answer. Let's see now a second example. So first, I am going to erase this. Ooh, my second example involves something that is round. So let's see. Find the area of the following composite figure. Here we go. We have here two figures again. We have a triangle over here, big triangle, and we have a semicircle, which means just half of my circle. I don't have the entire circle. So whenever I find the area, I find the area of a circle. What I need to do is to get the area, divide by 2, and then I will find the correct area. Okay? So figures, they are half a circle, and a triangle. Formulas for each area. Let's see if we remember. For the circle, pi r squared, but since it's just half a circle, we're going to divide that by 2. And for the triangle, which is base times height divided by 2. So let's solve. Let's find the area of our semicircle first. So the area of the not the entire circle, the semicircle is going to be pi r squared divided by 2. And what is my radius here? My radius is given and it is 11 centimeters. So this is pi times 11 squared divided by 2. So this is going to be pi times 121 divided by 2. Pi, we're always going to use 3.14. We have talked about that before. So 3.14 times 121 divided by 2 is 189.97 centimeters. Again, they give you the unit, so centimeters squared. Then the area of the triangle. The area of the triangle, base times height divided by 2. The base over here, look, the base of my triangle here is what? The base for my triangle is, can you see that? The base here is 11 plus 11, which is 22. My height is 16, and I divide this by 2. So just to show you how we do this, we get the calculator. I use my cell phone. So we get 22. We can simplify 22 and divided by 2. This is 11 and this is 1. So how do I calculate that? 11 times 16, 176 centimeters squared. I hope I didn't calculate that wrong, right? Because this is my base. The base for my triangle is 11 plus 11. It is the diameter of my circle, or of my semicircle. And then my height here is given to me. It's 16. So 22 times 16, base times height, divided by 2. So how much is this? 189. So it's going to be 176 plus 189.97, which gives me 365.97 centimeters squared. All right? If I didn't get any calculations wrong, this is the number. But this is how we do. We work with separate shapes, we put them together, and then we find the total area. If we have something that is overstepping or superposing one figure with the other, then we have to discount the area that is counted twice. All right? So now I'm going to assign you your homework. First, let's just take a look at this. This is just for fun. We have some different shapes here. So, people that love to create new shapes, people that love to fold paper and stuff, they can make tons of shapes. They can build houses. They can do so many things using different shapes and put them together. So now, homework. Your homework is divided in 2 parts, so you're going to have to do 2 things for this homework. The first one, make up 2 different composite figures using objects from your home. So you have to make composite figures using things from your home. I don't know, a plate, a purse, your cell phone, whatever it is that you want. Use at least 3 objects per figure. So you're going to use 6 objects at least to make this, 2 shapes. And then find the area of each composite figure. Post photos and paper with your work. So you're going to post photos of the picture, of the shape that you made, and then you post the paper solving how much that area is. The second part of this homework is draw your body on the ground. So you go and you lay down and you chalk yourself around, or you ask someone to draw you, and then you measure the different shapes that form the drawing, or that form you. And you are going to find your area. So post photos and paper with the work. So post your assignments through Google Classroom. Please don't send me emails, because the emails get lost in streaming. They get lost in so many emails that I receive. And if I might not give you credit for something you did if you are sending me emails, okay? So please, we've been doing this for quite a bit now. So you should be able now to use every post on Google Classroom. If you don't know how, send me a message or talk to one of your classmates, because from most people, I'm getting the homework through Google Classroom. And thank you for that. So I'll show you what I did in my home to demonstrate how to do this homework. So I got milk and 2 lids, one of my cocoa powder and one from oats. So I measured, so this is my composite figure. I took a picture of it. And then I measured each one of the lids. So I measured the lids, and then see everything here. And the area of the circles, what did I do? The area of one circle, pi times 4.5 to the second power, gives me this area. Then the second circle, they measured the same thing, or they were pretty similar, so I just rounded and made them measure the same thing. So this is the second one, 63.6, so each one was 63.6. And then the area of the rectangle, which I measured as well. Look, measure the height, measure the side. So it was 9 times 19.5, 175.5, and here is my total area. I use centimeters, which should be right here, centimeters square. That's what I did. And now I'm going to show you the other one, because I did that as well. So look, this is the area of me, and I want to see the area of you. So this is my head, arms, my body, and then the legs. Here it is. I separated that in several shapes, one circle and a bunch of rectangles. I didn't put the measurements here. Look at that. You know, that's going to be a very big number, guys. But I measure. You have to measure the area of the head. So put the centimeter here and try to figure out where the half of your head is. And you can measure the area of your head. Measure it over here as long as you did your drawing. Area of the arms multiplied by 2. Area of the trunk, the legs, also multiplied by 2. And then you find your total area. I hope these homeworks are fun. I hope they are teaching you how to work with composite figures. And I will see you next class. It was really good being here with you. Bye, guys.